Very nice guy, but nobody's done anything. And I've been watching this go on for years.
Most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Adam Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for...
Well, that's what's happening in England right now, isn't it?
It 100% is. It 100% is.
That's really happening?
Yes, it's really happening. You can't give people that much control. You can't give people that much control over what offends them or what offends people, what you could say, what you can't.
Every episode, they'd be waiting outside of your...
Yeah, here's the thing, man. This is a new thing. This wasn't England 10 years ago, all right? This is a new thing. And it's a scary thing. It's a really scary thing. They arrested thousands of people for social media posts. Thousands.
Hey there. If you enjoy staying informed and discovering stories that matter, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free, and your support really helps us create even more amazing content for you. Join us on this journey. You won't regret it.
The growing debate over free speech and government control in the United Kingdom has sparked international concerns, with prominent figures in the United States calling attention to what they describe as an erosion of fundamental freedoms. At the centre of the controversy is the arrest of Adam Smith Connor, a British Army veteran and physiotherapist who was charged simply for praying in silence near an abortion clinic. His case has fueled arguments that the UK is increasingly restricting personal expression, particularly when it comes to religious and political views. US Senator J.D. Vance has been one of the most vocal critics of the UK's stance on free speech, warning that such cases signal a dangerous shift toward authoritarianism. According to Vance, the UK government is no longer simply regulating public safety, but is instead actively policing thoughts and expressions, punishing those who express opinions that diverge from the government's preferred stance. He has pointed to the arrest of Smith Connor as a disturbing example of how Western democracies are slowly chipping away at civil liberties under the guise of maintaining social order. Podcast host Joe Rogan has echoed these concerns, using his platform to highlight the UK's increasingly restrictive speech laws. Rogan, an outspoken advocate for free expression, has criticised the British government for creating an environment where citizens fear punishment for sharing their thoughts, whether online or in public. He has specifically pointed to reports that thousands of people in the UK have been arrested for social media posts deemed offensive.
Just terrible government overreach. You're seeing it now in England where people are getting arrested for tweets.
Yeah. Well,
England, people talk about Soviet Russia, like how bad Russia is in terms of cracking down on thought police and cracking down on bad tweets and things like that. I think the statistics are, I think England I think there's something like 4,000 people have been arrested in England for thought crimes, where they've said things online that people find to be
controversial views, arguing that free speech should be protected regardless of political or social pressures. The situation has also drawn criticism from former US President Donald Trump, who has taken a strong stance against what he sees as increasing government control over speech and expression in the UK. Trump has warned that these restrictions could have global consequences, suggesting that the suppression of free speech in one democratic country could embolden governments elsewhere to adopt similar policies. Beyond free speech concerns, the UK is also facing scrutiny over its immigration policies, with J.D. Vance and Joe Rogan both raising alarms about the government's handling of border security and asylum seekers. Vance has argued that the UK's current approach allows undocumented individuals to enter the country without proper vetting, creating both security risks and economic burdens. He contends that by prioritising political correctness over national security, the government is putting citizens at risk. One of the most controversial aspects of the UK's current policies is a new measure in Scotland.
Government is that it's actually an offer to work together to not just fix a problem, but to restore what has always been true about the special relationship of the United States and the UK, and that is, first and foremost, we're going to recognize individuals as sovereign, and especially when it comes to their right to worship, particularly
to question whether the UK is headed toward a society in which private religious practices are subject to legal scrutiny. Keir Starmer, the leader of the UK Labour Party, has come under particular criticism for his handling of both immigration and free speech issues. Vance has accused Starmer of being more focused on maintaining a politically correct image than on addressing the real challenges facing the UK. According to Vance, Starmer's policies have allowed for unchecked migration while simultaneously enabling laws that restrict free expression. He argues that this approach weakens both national security and the rights of British citizens. With figures like Rogan, Musk, and Trump drawing attention to these issues, the UK is facing growing pressure to re-evaluate its stance on free speech and personal freedoms. The global spotlight on these controversies raises important questions about the future of democracy in Britain and whether the country will continue down a path that critics argue is dangerously close to authoritarianism. As debates over censorship, immigration, and civil liberties intensify, the question remains, will the UK government take these warnings seriously and reconsider its approach? Or will it push forward with policies that many see as an outright assault on fundamental freedoms?